For those of you who don't know, the Allegory of the Cave, it's like from Plato's The Republic, I think it's book 7, and it starts off with men all chained up in a row. Let's say like 3 or 4 men chained up in a row, and they were born in a cave. Now, they have their arms and heads bound, so they cannot look behind them. All they can do is look up in front of them. And all they can see is shadows on the wall. They don't know anything else other than the shadows that are popping up on the wall, and their eyes have adjusted to kind of the dark light. And people start to walk between a flame and the wall. And the flame is at like the mouth of this cave and is shining shadows onto the wall. And as people walk past and they're holding statues of different things, the people start to name what they are seeing. So the people that are chained up that have never seen anything else start to name it. If you can name what comes up. Eagle. Yeah, eagle. And the next one? Tree. Yep, and the next one? And the next one? So, what's really interesting about the way they set this up is that people are looking ahead and they start to name all these things. They start to name battery. They start to name bird. They start to name these shadows that are coming up onto the wall. And to them, the shadow of a statue of a bird is the bird. So what they see and what they know is the shadows that they're seeing. So as they start to get a cat come up onto the wall, as they start to see a tree, as they start to see a bird, they name these things. And what happens is one of them gets set free. And what's interesting about this is he actually doesn't want to leave. He's happy in the cave, and they have to drag him up into the light. And if any of you have been asleep and someone puts the big light on and it wakes you up, it's like literally shocking, and it brings you into the light. You could imagine how someone who had been sat in a cave for all of his life, when they come up into the light, that's like for them. And what starts to happen is this guy's walking around and he's starting to see the things that he never knew existed. He starts to see the bark on the trees. He starts to see like the feathers on birds, and can start to see the detail within these things that what he once thought was reality, what the shadow on the wall, which to him was real, he's now starting to see, actually there's bark on this tree, and there's all of these fine details that are running through it. There's all of these different things. There's fur on cats. There's batteries. Just a note, there was no batteries in 380 BC, or so I know. This is another image of what it looked like. And what happens is, as he's looking at all of these things, he eventually finds his way, and he can see his own reflection. And he can see the reflection of the sun, and then eventually his eyes adjust to the point where he can look at the sun. And the sun in this is like the source of all things. The sun in this is pretty much knowledge, okay? And then what happens is he comes back down into the cave, and his eyes have adjusted to the light. So as he starts to come back down, he can't see anything. It's all dark, so he's fumbling around. And for all the people that are sat down in the cave, he looks like an idiot. He doesn't look like he knows what's going on. So for them, the people that are still chained up, they think he's crazy. And one of the reasons they think he's crazy is because he starts asking them, you should come and see what I've seen. The shadows that you are seeing on the wall, that's not reality. What I have just seen is reality. So you should come with me. And they vow to kill him. And they vow to kill anyone who comes to tell them that what they are seeing is not reality. And the reason I start with this is because I think it's a really good start to understand that the knowledge that we have and the ideas that we have and the life that we know is only the snapshot that each of us has lived individually. And that there are things that we could learn, and we may learn them through unexpected experiences, but today I want you to go through it, because what I'm going to go through today isn't gospel. I'm going to get things wrong as we go through today, and you may disagree with some of the things that I have written down. And the one thing that I want you to go into this with is an open mind, that there may actually be something that we go through today that will actually help change and change you.